This is Your Mustang Story. We do podcasts so that you can do other things while you listen, but we hope to add video clips and photos to our YouTube soon. Meanwhile, in this episode, we learn the truth about exit number 369 in South Dakota. Alvin Morava has some secrets to share about his 1969 Mustang SportRoof. He's had it for 23 years, but boy, it looks anything but stock. A really clean build that only took 17 years to complete. Oh, but he's got more in the works, and we'll learn all about it, and we'll learn about Ford's sequential turn signals in this episode of Your Mustang Story. Alvin, welcome to the show, and I'm standing next to this spectacular car. Tell us what it is.
It is a 1969 Mustang SportRoof that I had built and I've owned for 23 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
And it took me 17 years to build it.
I understand. As they say, the struggle is real.
Yeah, and I ended up putting it in modified class because it started life as a 302 3-speed 2-barrel car, just a plain Jane SportRoof. I decided to design it the way I felt Ford should have designed it. So
did a really
this is
great job.
my rendition of the way I thought it should have been built.
So when you started, what were the first things you did to it?
Well, when I got it, there's a book right here on it, but if you were to look through it and stuff, there was no floors in it. They were rotted out. I mean, there was no motor, no trans in it. I did the history on it. So the first thing I did to it, when I rolled it in my garage, the front brakes were locked up on it. It slid into my garage. So I started deconstruction of the car. A lot of rust. I had to mark a lot of areas that had rust repair I had to do on it. Did not know what I was doing at all. Very first time, I just jumped into it and went heads deep in it.
You know, I think a lot of guys start that way, and you know, one thing leads to another. And I guess today it's YouTube videos that help them out, but back in the day it was like old Uncle Al or your neighbor down the street, and it would, you know, help you get along until you finally had your own wrench licks together. But looking at this car, it is so spectacular that you definitely got some skill sets from doing this.
That being said, I am an ASE Master Certified Mechanic.
Oh, okay.
This is what I do for a living. Now, body work, I'm not certified in, but I did do all the body work on the car myself. So I did the paint job and everything on it. That was a learning process from a lot of people showing me how to do stuff, but I wanted hands-on. So I said, I will do it. You show me how to do it.
Nice. Nicely well chosen. So let me ask you this. You got it as a shell kind of, or stuck, but where was the origin story of it?
Origin story of it, this car, I had an 83 GTT top car, and I was looking for a classic car, and I had a buddy of mine that wanted my GTT top car. So I said, I'll tell you what, if you can find me a 64.5 to 70 fastback, I specifically said I wanted a fastback, or SportRoof, as you want to call it, but I said I want a fastback. So he's like, okay. 2 to 3 days later, he called me. I said, I found a 69 fastback. And I said, well, that's the year I really wanted out of them all. Because originally what had happened is, winding back several years before, my dad had a 70 Mach 1, and I loved the heck out of it. And well, when I turned 16, my dad said, no way in heck you're going to get that. He goes, it's not the car for you.
Danger,
too much
danger,
car.
danger.
Yeah, exactly.
The dad alerts went off, huh?
So I'm like, okay, no big deal. So, long story short, move ahead. I'm 27 years old. You know, I'm on my own basically now. My dad's still around, all that stuff. But my buddy that wanted my other car calls me, said he had the 69. Well, that's the body style I want, because 69 is only here for double headlights. Yep. You know, and certain things on it. So, styling cues.
Magnificent body style.
Yeah, so that being said, that's what I wanted. So when I got it, I just started tearing it apart and reconstructing it. I always had some sort of inspiration. I had pictures of what I wanted. I mean, I knew the color I wanted. I mean, I knew where I was going with the vision I had.
Yes.
It took me 17 years to build. With that 17 years, you got to understand too, you have a moving...
Oh, life itself.
Life
you
itself,
bet.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so...
the struggle is real. You know, that's a fact.
I kept building it and stuff like that, and over the years, and my wife, she was sitting there, she didn't know I had this car in a storage unit that I'd been for a while, and I kept talking about it, and finally she said, let's get it done.
Nice. Or as we say in the husband game, a keeper.
But so I took the advantage of it, and we got it done.
And done it is. This is a magnificent silver. What is this silver?
This silver is actually called anthracite.
That sounds familiar.
It's the color off the wheels. I took the color off the wheels and I painted the whole car that. Now, I did not like the flat black that they originally put on the original cars for the paint scheme, so I wanted a little twist with the metallic, so I ended up using a Ford Tuxedo black for all the blackouts on it.
And it really looks great. I mean, I saw it in the sunlight and it was just like, wow, look at this.
It's got the shimmer on it in the light. You got the
sparkles.
Tuxedo style, you know.
Yeah, it's just absolutely the right choice for this car. And I know you'll be at other shows. Inside the engine bay is pretty snappy too. You want to talk a little bit about what you've done in there?
Yeah, the engine bay. I wanted to do a Boss 302, but trying to get intakes and stuff at the time was a little pricey to do that. And I actually had this Cleveland sitting in the back corner of my dad's shop. So
hey, no worries. I got a Cleveland laying in the corner over here. No problem.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that?
But the thing is, what is a Boss 302? Simple words to say, it's a 302, Cleveland-headed 302.
That's right.
So why not? We'll just step up. No replacement for displacement, as they call it. So we go bigger.
So out of driving it and out of being out with your friends and club, what is your most memorable Mustang memory with this car?
This car right now, actually, you know, I love going to the shows. That's hands down, that's one of my best memories, is going to any of the shows, meeting all these people here, being part of the MCA family, because they've actually taken me on. I'm one of the certified judges now, and I'm working to get my gold card down the road here.
Congratulations.
But they are working with me on it and stuff, and we like the camaraderie, you know, back and forth stuff with it.
Yeah.
I think the best memory is, and I hate saying this, but like my wife says, don't you be racing that car. You've got too much time and money in it, don't be racing it. Well, a nice little Facebook video showed up last year. I was autocross.
Oh, wow.
And she come across this video on Facebook. She said, what are you doing? I said, but it's in a parking lot with cones. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing real.
SCCA Solo 2.
Yeah, so.
Well, the trick is to get her to drive the track one time and get her hooked. Then there'll be 2 cars at the autocross.
Well, and that's what I keep trying to do with her normal daily driver. We won't get into that.
Yeah.
But so because she's got me building her a car at home.
Nice.
Which we won't get into that.
No, that's, hey, happy wife, happy life, right?
Well,
happy.
I have 3 other Mustangs at home.
Oh, wonderful. Tell me a little bit about them.
I have a 96 GT Pro Charge that I do drag race. It's street driven and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
I've got a 95 Coupe that I'm actually in the process of building into a full-fledged drag car, you know, twin turbo setup, everything on it. And then I have an 84.5 GT350 T-top Fox body at home too.
Oh my goodness, there's a gemstone.
But now that being said, is I want to work on my Fox body stuff, but my wife says no. She goes, you've already got 2 cars that are running. I want my car.
Yeah.
So an easy plug, I'll just say this. She has a 63 split window VW bus, 23 window ragtop I'm restoring for her.
Oh yeah, get that done. Then the other cars will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the others, it's like if you build her, the next car you do is all set, whatever you need. Yeah.
A couple bucks, and it's worth it though, too.
So you could use the 69 to deliver pizza to pay for the...
No,
maybe not. I think I might be wrong.
The weather's going to look crappy. I don't drive this car. I mean, I try not to. I mean, I have driven it in snow. I don't want to, though. And I got caught in it.
You've already got this magnificent... If this car went across the block, it's 6 figures. Let me ask you then, what's in your Mustang dream garage?
That's a good one. My mental dream garage actually... aside from my 69, because this car will never leave anywhere. Because this is, I have some.
This is your dream car.
I have some. Well, that is one of my dream cars. It's one of my bucket list cars. It's a sentimental part of it though too.
Sure.
Which that story gets a little more sentimental because of my dad and stuff. And that's why we're keeping this car. My birthday is March of '73. I'm a March kid. This car was born March '69.
Oh wow.
So I'm the president of the Black Hills Ford Mustang Club at this time.
Hey, shout out to the Black Hills Ford Mustang Club. Let's give that club a shout out.
Thank you. That being said, is we host the Sturgis Mustang Rally every year up there.
Nice.
And this year will be the 17th year.
That's awesome.
17th or 18th. 17th, I think it is.
Oh, that's really good. That's a good run.
So every year when I register a car, we have to put registration numbers, numbers up on the corner of the window. That's how we tell what cars are. This car number is permanently numbered right now, 369.
Nice.
Now, the reason we did 369 is the month and year this thing was built.
Right.
369, now the sentimental part of this is I'm a Nebraska boy originally. My hometown back in Nebraska is exit 369 on the interstate.
Oh, wow.
In Nebraska.
Nice.
Which is Beaver Crossing. That's where my dad has been buried at and stuff. So that's kind of a sentimental part.
No, but I get the Kismet. My car has a Kismet too. So
that's why this car won't go anywhere. But as far as other stuff, my other Mustangs I have, and I do still, like my wife knows too, I want a GT350 sitting in my garage yet.
Yeah, okay, there we got him. We got him pinned down, folks. It took a while, but we broke him down and he finally gave it to us. So, yeah, that's a...
Setting next to this car.
Yes, that's a spectacular choice. So let me ask you one last question here. What advice would you give someone who's looking to get into Mustangs?
If you're looking to get into Mustangs, no matter how bad it looks, there's always a silver lining when it's said and done. If you looked at the picture of this car the way it started, it took me 17 years to do. but look at it now is what I look at it.
It's spectacular.
Everything's achievable.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying. Nothing's unobtainable if you don't put your mind to it.
The workmanship in this car is exemplary, and anybody who comes out to a show and sees it, it's definitely going to impress you. It made us stop and talk to Alvin today on the show.
Thank you.
So we're really grateful to have you on the show, and I'm going to continue to admire this car for years to come every time I see it. Thanks for being on the show today. Mm-hmm. We're glad that you took the time to share your Mustang story with us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
Your Mustang Story will be right back.
Whatever you'd expect in a $28.95 car, we think you'll agree Mustang 2 gives you more. Jewel-like styling and detailing, a thrifty 4-cylinder engine, front disc brakes, rack and pinion steering, a wood-tone panel with real instruments, even a tachometer, a 4-speed, not 3-speed transmission, a truly elegant, luxurious interior. All standard in the base model Mustang 2. Sticker priced at $28.95, excluding dealer prep, destination charges, title, and taxes. Of course, if you want to design your own version of this little luxury car, we've got countless options. This particular car shows just a few of them. The all-new Mustang 2, almost 19 inches smaller than last year's Mustang, even smaller than the original one. A whole new kind of car, a great new kind of value at your Ford dealer.
Now, more of Your Mustang Story. One of the most distinctive features about the Ford Mustang are the sequential taillights you see, and those date back quite a long way. They actually date back to the 1965 Thunderbird and the 1967 Cougar. And since transistors weren't really used in manufacturing that much back then, Ford used an electromechanical device to create the sequential taillight effect. Those early sequential taillights used a motor to drive a small white plastic drum that had 3 contacts sequentially striking the contact for the inboard light, middle light, and exterior light to illuminate. The little motor would keep turning, keeping the contacts running sequentially until the turn stalk returned to its home position. Today we can even add sequential turn signals to our classic Mustangs using modern circuit boards and LEDs that plug into the old 1157 socket. It's just another way that our Mustangs give themselves that distinctive Ford Mustang look. And that's your Ford Mustang Minute on Your Mustang Story. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Your Mustang Story. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Our next episode is going to be quite special. I know you won't want to miss it. Your Mustang Story is a presentation of Spirited USA, LLC. All rights reserved. The views and opinions expressed on Your Mustang Story are solely those of the participants and do not necessarily represent Spirited USA or its sponsors. Send questions and comments to contact@yourmustangstory.com. And please, spread the word. Like, follow, and subscribe wherever you find us on the web. And thanks. See you next time.